I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuzetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Honshu.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh, my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Real talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What's up? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. Be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network, IE Network TV, and Twitter via Periscope, and of course the social network itself, Facebook. We're back on Facebook. So welcome everybody who's joining us from all different platforms. If you're watching the archives later, welcome as well. We definitely welcome you back. We appreciate you being here. Shout out to everyone in the chat room first and foremost, because my chat room, they always, hold it down, and we appreciate you visiting and commenting and putting your insight, giving me, just listening to us talk ish. It's all good. Shout out to No Nonsense. We appreciate you. Shout out to Joseph Tanner, of course, holding it down. Dolly Official. Shout out. Appreciate you for coming through. Always. Cool show today, of course. What she said there? Hit the like button. That's what's up. No Nonsense holding it down, saying hit that like button. And she's right. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, share it with your friends. Hit that share button. It takes, I think I counted myself one time. It takes literally like 2 seconds to share something. It takes less than that to hit the subscribe button. And it takes even less than that to hit the like button. So appreciate you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about, number one, Candyman came out, and right now it's number one at the box office. Now, granted, of course, the numbers, someone in one of the rooms that I'm in on Facebook, one of the groups, I'm not going to name the person, but they're a pretty negative person all the time, it seems like, from their posts. And they're like, oh, well, it's a low bar to hit. And it's just, it's COVID. It's COVID. You know what I mean? So during the pandemic, it still was the number one at the box office for the weekend. And Nia Di Costa, who is the director of Candyman, is the first black woman female director to have a number one at the box office opening weekend. So congrats to her. Give her much applause. That's what's up. Hey, somebody had to do it, right? There's a lot of great female directors out there. Some of my favorite, some of them have some of my favorite movies, So there's a lot out there, from films to, and of course doing like television a little more, and videos. Oh, that's been around for years. But there's been, female filmmakers, black female filmmakers have been around for years, for decades, but they just haven't really gotten the recognition that they should have. Like Gina Prince Blythewood, she's one of my favorites. Like, she has a couple of my favorite films under her belt. Love and Basketball being one of them. I actually really like Beyond the Lights as well, something else she did. And then she did The Old Guard, so it showed that, really showed her versatility when she came in and directed The Old Guard. That was really cool. I mean, there's a few of them out there. But anyway, shout out to her. We'll talk a little bit about that. Candyman back. Everybody's be my victim. So, right around, the holiday, not holidays, but, next, well, we're in, it's a little early. I thought I'm thinking it's September already. I was like, we're getting around, but we're coming into fall. That's when it used to be, most of the horror films and things like that would start releasing around the fall. Like, you rarely see horror films like in the summertime, stuff like that. Fall and winter is when you see horror films. So there you go. And speaking of horror films, but not really horror films, but villains, right? Is Candyman on your best villains list? It's not on mine, not my top 10 at least. I'm gonna count down the top 10, my top 10, and hopefully the Jedi Council, they got some as well to share. I'm gonna count down our top 10 movie villains. Now, this is my top 10. It may change. These are lists that can change if that person comes out. Like, my top 10 did change since the last time I did a top 10. When I did an account for a top 10 of villains. There's a couple of people on here that I didn't consider before that I put on. So we'll go over that, and get that popping. We also, hopefully, if we have all three of us tonight, we may go over our movie rewind review, which is Roadhouse. So if we get a chance to do that, that'll be what's up. What else is going on, man? There's things going around. So in the box office, Candyman, as we mentioned, took it with 22 million over the weekend. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Right behind it is Free Guy. This is the third week it's been out. Last week it was number one, so Candyman knocked that out the box this week. But Free Guy actually has been doing pretty good the last 2 weekends. So I mean, even this weekend, which is its third weekend, it made 13 million. So that's not bad during a pandemic. That ain't bad, and when it first, I don't know what it did its first week, but Candyman, 22 million. So now for the people out there that may question, just like the negative gentleman who, made a comment about that, somebody in one of these movie groups, and they're like, it's a low bar. And I mean, if you want to look at it that way, you're free to do that. But let's not forget, we are still in a pandemic where this is not, it's not like it's, the pandemic is over. Just because there's a vaccine doesn't mean we're still, COVID's not affecting the movie numbers, because it is. And it's going to affect the movie numbers for a while. That plain and simple. So they're like, it's a low bar. That's considered a flop before COVID. But if we were not in COVID times, who's to say that this number wouldn't be doubled or more than doubled? So this is what I'm saying. This is a good number to do during the pandemic. I mean, Tenet came out, Tenet did, I think, and domestically, it probably did under 10 million its first weekend. I don't know how much it had, like a decent enough release, but Tenet did most of its numbers overseas because it would. Now, granted, Tenet came out, we was a little more, I guess, into the pandemic. We didn't have, I think that was pre-vaccine. No, I don't know. I think the vaccine was rolled out, but it wasn't really like going heavy like this. So, but still, 22 million is good. It's enough. I'm sure she'll take that. That's not like no asterisks because we're in a pandemic. I'm sure she'll take that, and congratulations to her on that. Yeah, I wanted to bring some of this up. I'll bring it up when I get to bring the council on. But I'm like, some of these cats is just always want to complain about something. Got to complain about something. But it's all good. We're going to move forward on that. Like I said, the list that we're gonna go through should be really interesting, especially hearing from everyone else. A lot of movie news around the globe right now. As we know, the Spider-Man trailer came out while we were on the air last week. And I tell you, I've been emailing YouTube and complaining and things like this because I'm like, yo, why can't we do reaction videos? Like, I've seen them done all over YouTube, and then they're up there, but then I do one and YouTube's flagging me, telling me to take it down. I don't know. So, anywho, we could have did one right there online because it dropped while we were on the air. It was so cool, but YouTube be acting crazy, so we didn't do one. But I did. When we watched it, I watched the trailer many times, and it has it's really good. I can't wait to see it. Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. So what did y'all think about it? Did you see it? Did anybody see it? What you think about the trailer? You excited for the movie? Do you care? You're like, meh, I don't care. We'll see. What else is going on around? The Expendables 4 set cast. A couple of people have joined the cast. One of those people, one is Megan Fox, has joined this cast of the Expendables 4, along with rapper slash actor slash entrepreneur slash television producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is now he is now joined the cast of the Expendables 4. So they figure like we done did it. We pretty much got all of the old school action heroes in. We might as well start getting rappers turn actors now. Or put them in there. It looks like most of the cast from the last movie is gonna come back. It says here 2010. So yeah, that was the one there. I think most of the cast from the last movie is gonna come back. Dolph Lundgren is back. Couture is back. There's gonna be some more, but we'll see. We're gonna see what what happens off that. Let's say, are you excited for that? You want to see? Are y'all here for that? Are y'all here for that? That's what I want to know. You check it out. Just Expendable. Now I'm here for the Expendables. I'm sorry. The Expendables franchise to me is a really good franchise. It's just popcorn and soda, action, whatever. You know, don't go to it expecting it to get an Oscar. That's not gonna happen. You know what Sly should do? You know what Sly should do, and I don't know if Ralph will agree with me with this, but Sly should get like what we say. First of all, we should do like what we did, the Expendables. Sly should go ahead and produce the Expendables. But what he really should do is run over there and grab Scarlett Johansson and put her in the Expendables. Or if you want to do the Expendables, you can put her in that too. But if you don't do the Expendables, which is, for all you don't know, that's the female version of the Expendables, which was in talks. And they were actually developed. It wasn't even in talks. It was in development. So if you're not going to do that, you do the Expendables and you get Scarlett Johansson in there. Because, you know, she's kind of expendable now. But I'm just saying, no, that's no shade to her. But, you know, I think it would be cool. That'd be a nice, you know, to see her. And she's definitely an action chick. She can do action stuff. No problemos. And there's plenty of action to go around in the Expendable franchise. So I would like that. Another thing, as I get ready to bring in my counsel, what's this here? Oh, yeah. They Tyrese. So Tyrese, I can't even say it with a straight face. All right. So Tyrese Gibson, you know, obviously from the Fast franchise, is saying now, he made a statement. There was something, a report that came out, but Tyrese made a statement about saying he lost, he claims he lost roles to Terrence Howard because of his complexion. That's you know, so Tyrese brings up that he's lost roles. And I'm like, hey, if that's your truth, brother, that's what you feel, you have a right to express it. You know, but I don't know. I mean, he says throughout my whole childhood, it was like, you know, it wasn't cool to be dark skinned. Now, see this part, if you want to say this about what you had to go through as a child, is different from you saying that's a pretty big, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Declaration, as for you to say, you know, that you know this, you know, this is, or that's just how you feel. Yeah, you know, since it wasn't cool to be dark skinned in the hood. It was always the light skinned black people that seemed to have gotten all of the attention and all the love, and because the considered the pretty, the attractive, and the handsome. And since I've been in Hollywood, we dealt with the same thing. He said, I just did a film with Terrence Howard. We're able to joke about it now, but I was the star of the film, and they had an idea to go with him or go with someone else. They had an idea to go with someone else. This is all quotes from Tyrese, who I won't mention. They told to go with, and then I suggested Terrence Howard. Okay, and he thanked me for it, like a week straight. Terrence Howard has no idea how many roles that I was about to book, and they went with him because he's the lighter skinned black man with the green eyes. Oh, Tyrese. It's cool. Hey, stand in your truth, brother, if that's what you feel. But let me just throw something out there. Could it be? Just a thought. Just a thought. Could it be that you lost those roles to a better actor? Is that possible? I mean, an award, an Academy Award nominated actor? It's possible, right? Or is it just automatic that because Tyrese is a dark-skinned brother, he lost out on the role to the light-skinned brother? Now let me get this straight. She said, I just said that. True. Let me get this straight. Don't get it twisted. I am well aware, just as any eye-open black person in the industry is well aware, that there is colorism that's been going on in the industry for years. More so with black women than black men, but men too. So I am not discrediting that. I'm not putting that out there. And like what he said when he talked about his childhood, I'm team light skin. I'm a light skinned brother, right? I know. I can tell him. I can see he's right. I can say that I believe him. Put it that way. I can say he's right. Say I could believe him because there were people. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Colorism within our own community against darker skinned black people. Like I said, most of the time it's black women, unfortunately. But I've seen it with black men too. But it was like black men, dark skinned black men were like always feared, like automatically. If that makes sense. Literally, if you had a darker skinned brother, could be the same build as me, same height as me. If I'm standing next to that dark skinned brother, and let's just say whatever, a person, whether I'm not gonna say just maybe a white person, it could be any person who might look, we could be dressed the same way. Tim's, whatever, jeans, boom, boom, hoodie. That person is more likely to strike a conversation up with me than they are with the dark-skinned dude who's dressed just like me, who's the same build, same height, whatever. Because for whatever reason, I mean, not for whatever reason, we know we're not going to go into why. We know why, how it's been instilled into us for years and years and generations. But because of that, it has because of things like that, the ignorance like that, it has built this animosity between light-skinned and dark-skinned blacks. Not just because of that, but I'm only talking about my experiences, right? So, this colorism, dark skin versus light skin, which is just really stupid and ignorant, but it's real. So Tyrese, Stand in your truth, brother. I believe that you feel that way. But I'm just saying, Terrence Howard, could it be? I'll do this again. Could it be that you lost those roles because Terrence Howard is a better actor than you? So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Let's bring in Ralph and get his opinion on it. Ralph, you in the building, man. Thanks for coming back. I mean, could it be? See, I don't hear you. Are you muted? You muted. Let me unmute you.
Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Hi. How you doing? Let me just say this to Miss Tyrese Gibson. Look, brother. Look, bro. Look, Holmes. Terrence Howard is a better actor than you. Okay. So if you want to say, well, Hollywood got a thing against light skinned guys compared, they love light skinned guys to don't like dark skinned guys. Isn't Denzel Washington a dark skinned guy? Isn't Eddie Murphy? Wesley Snipes? Sidney Poitier? And you can take it further back. Bill Cosby, Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. And that's what I meant to say too. One of my comments when I saw that on the screen was, who's gonna tell him who Terrence Howard lost his role to?
Yeah, he lost his role to Don Cheadle, the dark skinned dude, Don Cheadle. Right?
Who's gonna tell Tyrese who Terrence Howard just beat him out simply because he's dark skinned? Well, there's a little role called War Machine in the MCU. Guess who replaced Terrence Howard? A dark
skinned bro. Now I'm sitting here as you said this. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at Terrence Howard's because he said that Terrence Howard and him just did a movie together. So Terrence Howard and Tyrese did Hustle and Flow back. No, I'm sorry, not Hustle and Flow. Four Brothers. Back
they
in
did Four Brothers. I remember that. Yeah.
And then
that might have been what he was talking about when he said they were doing a film before.
So Tyrese, my question is, out of the other movies that Terrence Howard has done, which one did you exactly lose? Did you lose Get Rich or Die Trying? Did you lose Idlewild? Awake?
Yeah, Terrence Howard did so many movies, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry to say, there is no Tyrese. By mentioning this, like I said before, if you feel that, if you want to say in general that you feel that there's still colorism and it's heavy, if that's your opinion, I'm not gonna knock you for that. But for you to bring up Terrence Howard is wrong, or anybody for that matter. For you to say you lost out to a specific person because you were dark, he was lighter skinned, that's wrong to say, and you're really discrediting the acting ability of that brother. You see what I'm saying? You see how toxic this whole thing is?
I mean, not for nothing.
Not for nothing. He was a light skin.
No, not from the Terrence Howard Oscar-nominated actor. At that point in time, he was an Oscar-nominated actor. I mean, at that point, Terrence Howard, although he was known, he certainly wasn't like a household name. Not really until Hustle and Flow did people really put him like. But even in the other movie, you go back and you see other movies that he was in, he certainly stands out. You know, Sunset Park, Mr. Holland's Opus. You know. The
almost every
man,
movie, every film he was in, he stands out. Now, is it the role that he ends up choosing, or is it what he brings to the role? You know what I'm saying? It's probably a little bit of both, but yeah, it's probably more so what he brings to the role. Now, you know, Tyrese.
But I got a question for Tyrese. Okay, since that's how you feel, man, then I don't know. Did you still Transformers from Terrence Howard? Was he supposed to be in Transformers?
Exactly.
Was he supposed to be in Fast and the Furious? And you got the role. The only role that you really claimed that you really got because of that reason was Baby Boy, because you said that, and the only reason you got it from your own words is because Tupac, unfortunately, was gone.
Yeah.
If Tupac was around, it wouldn't even have been you, so there wouldn't have been even a Tyrese. So watch when you're saying something like that. Well, I lost roles because of this. No, maybe you just lost role because the man is more talented than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Or at least a better actor. He may not be overall more talented than him because Tyrese is a better singer than Terrence Howard. But Terrence Howard is also a musician.
Exactly.
Let's not forget that.
And Terrence Howard, he is not a singer. He is like you said, he could play an instrument. He could do that. You know, he didn't say, well, you know, I didn't get a Grammy because Terrence Howard came and, you know, he did a song because he light skinned, he got it. And then maybe you would have a much stronger argument then. Where if you put out what's that Sweet Lady, and Terrence Howard put out some junk that was clearly unfair, but you lost a Grammy. You did not get a Grammy because it said Terrence Howard on it. Maybe then your point would be a whole lot stronger, but it's really not. Terrence Howard is just a better actor than you.
He's a better actor than you. That's just that plain and simple.
I'm sorry, and Tyrese Gibson. Look, I hate to bust your bubble, man. Hate to bust your bubble. I met you one time. You seem like a nice guy, but I hate to bust your bubble. But let's be very, very clear when I say this. Nobody is going to see you in a movie when your name is above the marquee. Nobody. You have had legitimate shots where your name was above the movie, and all you keep doing is giving us a hood movie. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. And don't get me wrong, Terrence Howard's name, no, he doesn't translate well in the box office by himself. But he's not that kind of guy. He brings substance to whatever role he's in. Most people don't want him as the guy. They want him as the comedic, emotional support guy. That's his lane. He is not Denzel Washington. He's not. Yeah. But if he was in a movie, could he go toe to toe with Denzel Washington? Very well.
Hold his own.
He could. He could hold his own.
He can hold his own. He can definitely hold his own. So I mean, I think like I said, Tyrese, I'm not discrediting you as far as what you feel is true. And about the colorism in the industry, we all know that's real. We know that already. But just like I said before, I don't like what people bring. I addressed this earlier this year when Coming to America 2 came out. And I addressed it because at the time, what's her name? The one who played the wife that they picked for him. I forget it. What is her name? The dark skinned, beautiful
Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Vanessa Bell Calloway. Vanessa Bell Calloway brought that up too. And I said the same thing with her. I said, in this instance, she's wrong to bring it up. Because you're gonna go and say that Sherry Headley beat you out because they went with the light-skinned girl. When that you don't have any proof of that. Second of all, maybe once we pointed out a lot of things. I also pointed out at the time, Vanessa Bell Calloway or Vanessa Bell at the time, she was way older. She was older than Eddie Murphy. She was about almost 7 years older than Eddie Murphy or something like that. She was older. Both of the characters were supposed to be 21 years old. I think Vanessa Bell at the time when they shot Coming to America, she was like 28. You know what I'm saying? So I brought in a lot of factors. You know what I mean? Some people could be 21 and look 28. But the bottom line is it was wrong because he comes back, does a part 2, and still puts you in it. Gives you a bag after 30 years, comes back and gives you a bag out of nowhere when he didn't have to. Your character arc was done. Your character was done. He didn't pick her. I mean, you know, people may wonder, hey, what happened to her? Okay, well,
nobody would have cared.
No one cared. No one wondered that. I'm just saying, maybe. But let's see. I wonder how he feels that Anita Baker sung lately better than him. Yeah, well, I mean, who knows, man?
I get Tyrese music. I mean, musically, I like his music. Sweet Lady. I love Sweet Lady. You know, that's one of those
Yeah,
songs people
real
put on and
dope. I
girls
mean,
be like,
he did the
and
song on
and when he did that
the
song, Sorry, that song, Sorry, I mean, he was on the view. I mean, I hate to say it, and I know some of y'all gonna say it, but it's after 9 o'clock, damn it. He made Whoopi Goldberg come in her pants on the view when he was singing that song. If you've seen it, go find it on YouTube. Whoopi Goldberg was like, you could just have the panties. Actually, the entire cast of you was like, you could just have the panties right now while
yeah
he was singing
yeah.
Sorry. So yeah,
hmm
he has that. I'm not going to
Yeah,
deny
he's got a
that.
great voice. He's got a great voice. His
Very
voice
smooth, very mellow.
is
But
very 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 good voice. It's
we're not talking
not
about your
just
singing
it's
ability.
smooth and all that stuff, but it's actually strong too. He got a strong. He's
Yeah,
got a very good voice. He could sing. He's got a good
yes,
singing
he
voice.
can.
There's no doubt of that.
No
But
denying that. But we're not talking about your singing voice. We're talking about your acting abilities. You know,
yeah,
I mean, Tyrese, it's taking you some time to get acting roles because a lot of your early roles, you were kind of like a thuggish
you're
homeboy,
kind of stereotyped as that.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first Fast and Furious, all the Fast and Furious that you was in, you
hmm
know, black and white, waist deep,
Yeah.
even Four Brothers, and so on and so on. I mean, look, you and James Franco got into something huge during Annapolis. You know, yeah, you
Yeah.
did look good. You know, you did play a good role and look good as that lieutenant in there. But behind the scenes, from what I said, the two of you were like bitching. Like he doesn't even want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
let's
mean,
calm it down. And now
yeah,
and
it's
now
kind
and
of
now now the Rock, you got beef with the Rock. So what? You got so that's another light skinned dude. You
he's
got a beef with
constant
him
right.
too.
He's constantly got something when it's like, yo, dude, just you know
Relax.
what? Relax. Do you? You always it almost seems like he's always trying to make an excuse for the fact that he's a decent actor. He's not a great actor, but he's good. He's not bad at all, in my opinion. He
No,
hasn't really shown a lot of range
no.
in his roles, but he obviously plays the same character in the Fast movies, but I mean, like, he hasn't shown real range. Now he's got the film that he just filmed with Terrence Howard is called The System. Now I don't know if he said in that what I just read that it was his movie, so he's supposedly the lead. Now the log line the log line for this says when a young soldier newly returned from war gets caught up in a drug bust, he is recruited by the authorities to go undercover in a notoriously dangerous prison in order to figure out what is really going on. So now this is starring Tyrese, Jeremy Piven is in it, uh, Terrence Howard. Those are the most notable names that I see here off the top.
What's it
Everybody
called?
else it's called The System. It's a new movie. It hasn't come out yet, but that's the movie that's the movie that he's talking about. He just shot with Terrence Howard, and they were gonna go with someone else, and then he said he suggested Terrence Howard. So so you got that, right? So that if he is the lead and that is the guy, he plays the soldier that goes undercover. That's a stretch from his normal thing. So there you go, and then he got the Morbius movie coming out where he plays an FBI agent. So
But it's
he's
still
in more.
no. I disagree. They're all the same role, just different ways, but they're all the same. It's not like the guy
I
burst
mean,
out
the
and he.
Morbius that you can't really say that about Morbius because I mean he's just an FBI agent. He's
But
playing
that's
an
what I'm
FBI
saying.
agent. That's pretty much he's pretty much the FBI agent that's that's tracking Morbius. You know what I'm saying in the film or
No,
whatever.
I agree.
That's nothing like his normal roles.
But
That's
no.
not like his
But what I'm saying, like when I'm talking about, he has a trust. He has, and even with that one, it's still another. Probably gonna walk like he's walking the streets of Compton or Detroit or somewhere. No type of range. It's not like this guy's up here playing Othello doing a Broadway play.
Yeah.
He's not or doing a romantic comedy. None of that stuff.
No, not that. But I mean, it is a change from his. Not automatically. We have to see. I don't have any background on where. I mean, this takes place. Supposedly, Morbius is a Marvel character, and this normally takes place in on the East Coast. But it's possible on the West Coast. They put the other film, Venom. They put that on the West Coast, so it's very possible that they might put this on there too. Because I don't know if Eddie Brock is supposed to be cameoing in this. I don't think so. But I don't know where. It doesn't say where it takes place. It just says blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't say. Now more than likely, if it follows, what it's supposed to follow, it'll probably take place in New York or on the East Coast. Or
I'm
whatever.
sorry, but I think it's just going to be it's going to be a different tree dressing of the same branch.
That remains to be seen. I'm not going to say if he's playing, if he's playing like an FBI agent or whatever, that's not the same as him playing the guy in the Fast and the Furious. That's not the same as him playing, Baby Boy or some hood cat. So I'm not gonna. I gotta give. I gotta tell him it is what it is. It's different. It is different. Now, how he plays it, we'll see.
That's what I'm talking about. How he plays. Now, you said now if you would have said, "Hey, listen, they're doing the sequel to Pretty Woman," all right, and it's starring Tyrese. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but he can still turn around and still play it as a hood dude, or play it as the same way he plays the other roles, and it's still the same thing. So it depends on how he plays it. If he fleshes the character out properly, and he plays it. Right.
I already know he's not. I don't even have to say he's not. I'm already gonna see Morbius, but he's not. You're gonna say that. Yeah, that's Black and Blue. You're gonna look at the scene and say, yeah, that's how he was in Black and Blue. Yeah, that's how he was in Wasted. Oh yeah, that's Homeboy from Transformers. Oh yeah, that's Fast and Furious. That's how you're gonna see it.
We'll see. I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible that he could play it that way, but that's his fault if that happens.
Exactly. So once again,
there's room to grow there. There's room to.
That's why Terrence Howard is a better actor than you, because he can take the role and he can incorporate how he needs to be and flip it and do something totally different. He's vastly different than how he was in Hustle and Flow, than he is in The Best Man, than how he was in Mr. Holland's Opus, and how he was in Crash, and how he even was in Iron Man. They're all different. It's not the same versions.
From Hills like Jay says, Black is still doing better than Denzel's son. So here's the deal. Thanks for the comment, Jay.
I don't know what that means, but okay. I don't understand that one, but okay.
But he like I said, he hasn't shown any really stretch of his he hasn't shown his range. And that's kind of like on him because he's been in quite a few movies. So, I mean, but once again, it all depends on where you can go with the role that you choose or that you get cast in, right? So you got, Too Fast, Too Furious, and all of the Furiouses, and the guy that he plays, that character is who he is, and there's really no changing that. Waist Deep, he was the lead in that. He could have had a different way, but that was kind of like in the hood type of movie anyway. So, Transformers, to me, he didn't show any range. He pretty much was the same character from the Fast and the Furious. He just, he was one of the soldiers in Transformers. He hasn't really shown no range, like we just talked about. But now what I'm saying is with these roles upcoming, if this, like for instance, this thing, The System, it depends on how you play this role. If he's that lead and he's the person that this synopsis is talking about, he has an opportunity to stretch his range a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got a, okay, he's played a soldier before. We got it. So now, but you can still even play that differently. There's different types, there's just like in the military in real life, there's different types of people, right? There's some people in the military that just keep it straight. They could come from the hood and they keep it hood. Even though they're in the military, they keep it hood.
That is
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That is true.
But then
But
there's
to
some
me,
people that may have been hood, went to the military and kind of changed,
mellowed out.
straightened up a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit,
true.
mellowed out, or whatever the case would be.
Grew
They're a
up.
little more
Grew up.
organized, a little more mature. Yeah. So,
But see, to me, I mean, I saw Transformers was all in Annapolis. He's the same guy in all the Transformers and Annapolis. Except in Annapolis he has more of a rank, but he's the exact same guy. This hard edge. I'm a tough ass soldier. I don't take no crap. And that's what all the movies. I'm a tough ass dude. I don't take no crap. I don't take no crap. He never shows a serious, not a sensual side. 11 side is like I'm the hard dude. It's all about getting my drink on, riding my bike. Yo, Keisha, where my kid at? Where my son? It's all the same,
Yeah, pretty much.
So when you lose out roles, maybe you should really be looking at yourself.
Well, exactly. That's why, and that's my point I was trying to make.
You're not expanding your portfolio, my friend. You're not expanding it.
That's the point I was trying to make. He almost seems like he's always seems like he's making an excuse or complaining about something when you should just be doing you.
Exactly. Think about it. Yo, Tyrese, you sing. How come people that have made these musicals in the last 15 years, how come nobody asked you to play Aretha Franklin's husband?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, no one's come up to you and say, hey, we think about doing, I mean, hell, Marvin Gaye.
Mm-hmm.
The Temptations of full. I mean, anything. Right. Nobody is creating even a singing movie for you to even be in where you could flex your musical chops. Idlewild. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Don't that tell you something? And man, and here's another question. Really, dude, how come all the movies that you're in, how come ain't nobody ever asked you to get in on their soundtrack?
Mm-hmm.
You're not on no Transformers soundtrack or Fast and Furious. Why is that?
Remember, remember at one point Tyrese was he was lobbying to play when they were talking about developing a Teddy Pendergrass movie. He was lobbying to play Teddy Pendergrass.
And what happened?
I mean, nothing yet.
You got what I need. It was like, not you. Not you.
You
don't.
You don't got.
No, you don't got what we need.
See, I don't think we see Tyrese in that way as an actor. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he hasn't grown.
Right. But see, that's saying. I put it like this: like we all see Denzel Washington, right? Denzel Washington, for years when he came out, he kept playing those hard-edged dramas, drama. But then somewhere around there, he played in Cry Freedom and Glory and Malcolm X. He said, I need to do something a little different. I mean, yeah, he had did some light comedies, but they weren't grasping on scene. But if you look at Denzel Washington in Malcolm X, with over that part, he's certainly different than how you saw him in Mississippi Masala or The Mighty Quinn, you know, or even Training Day. He's vastly different. And even after Training Day came out there, he didn't all of a sudden say, well, now I'm just going to play these criminal guys and say, my nigga. He didn't say that. He didn't do that. Right. Even when he could do that in American Gangster, he didn't say, he said, my brother. He said, my man.
My man.
Right. But even then, even when he was an American Gangster, even though he was his gangster, he was still kind of like a smoothed out. He wasn't like Nino Brown. She was kind of like, yo, that even though he's a gangster, but I could see me having a beer with him and having some wings at Hooters with him. That's how I see him.
Right. You see how you see him.
Right, but when he needed to be that cold-hearted dude, he turned it on, but he could turn it back off and just blend in.
Right. No, exactly. It's called range. And shout out to Nikita. Yo,
hey Nikita.
Where you been? Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, so a shout out to Wonder Kid Prime. Thanks for coming through.
Kid?
You know what I mean? So Yeah, I mean, it's like Tyrese, just to put a cap on it, you know, and a recap for people who may have just joined, Tyrese gives, and I hate to keep, you know, I'm not trying to kill him like that, but, you know, Tyrese feels that he lost a lot of roles. That was a quote, that he lost a lot of roles to Terrence Howard because he was the light skinned brother with the green eyes. I'm like, bro, Tyrese is that dude. He be like this, sharing those memes that be saying, "This is how light skinned brothers do so and so." He be sharing those memes on the internet. I know it. Nakia said she been getting money. Well, then I can't blame you if you've been getting money.
You know, make your bag.
Keep getting
Make
your money. I can't even
Make
heckle
your
you about it.
bag.
I can't even heckle you about it.
And can I get a loan? That's what I'm
I'd
saying.
say, let me hold something.
Let me hold something.
Let me hold something for a minute. That kind of money, you know what I'm saying?
Let me hold something for a minute.
Send me a super chat. I'll send it back to you. Eventually.
I got.
You know what I mean? But
I got PayPal. I can use,
you know what I'm saying? PayPal,
I can use a
Cash App. It's all good.
I got Cash App. I could use a loan. I saw these new Nikes I wanted.
She said, Wes, I think you're being biased because you're an honorary member of the light skin posse. I am. But I was saying, so what the one thing that you missed, Nikita, before you came in, I was saying, now when Tyrese talked about when he was younger, he was always, you know, running into bad situations because he was a dark-skinned brother. The light-skinned brother was considered the better looking, the more this, the more that, which he's right. No, I'm joking. That was a joke. But what I'm saying is, I said I had actually responded to that and said, yeah, I can understand where he's going from because, you know, growing up, I've seen it, you know, and I saw the disconnect that happened right before my eyes between dark skinned and light skinned people, black people. And it's a shame that happened that way because, you know, it just grew. It grew and it grew. Then there became a time where light skinned cats was complaining about dark skinned cats. They was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Oh, now all of a sudden the women want dark skinned cats. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. But you know, like they said, you know, we was hot in the '80s, light skinned brothers.
I know we're talking about like them Al B. Shore cats, you know, Christopher Williams, you know, light skinned bros with the Jerry curls and the green eyes and the pencil thin mustache. Like, hey baby, what's up?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you know
But then Wesley Snipes said, "F y'all got to get back to the bus. We back."
Yes,
the brothers
Snipes
back.
came out and they start, you know what I mean? Then MC Light releases a song. I want a roughneck. I need a roughneck. And like everything she talk about, dude, all you mostly saw in there was dark skinned, bald headed dudes.
With the Idaho grill.
Yeah, that's what one the kid just said. I blame MC Light. Yeah. right. What the kid and on top of that, her name is Light.
Yeah.
And she got going. You know, yeah, we had to take turns. What Nikita said. Yeah, we had to take turns. We had the '80s, and then the late '80s going into the '90s, and then the dark skinned brothers took over, started shaving their head. That's what happened. Dark skinned brothers look better with shaved heads than light skinned brothers. They start shaving their head. You know what? Light said it. What's she say?
Came back.
Triple O, ball D under the hood. This is all the stuff like let's say. So taking the ball D down. So yeah, I mean that's what it is. But like I said, my example was very simple. I said back when I was growing up, how a lot of people I saw, unfortunately, looked at darker skinned black dudes. They were more really the females took it worse. The males were more or less like every time you saw a dark-skinned male, you were like afraid of him. That's what like people like a non-black person would probably be more afraid of a dude that's my height, my build, dressed exactly like me. There'll be more but he's darker, or he's dark-skinned. They'd be more or less likely to strike a conversation up with him than they would with me. That's the truth. I've experienced it growing up. and it's effed up. That's effed up. You know what I mean? That's not right. But I'm just saying, I can believe him for that. But when he's talking about he lost roles to Terrence Howard because Terrence Howard's a light-skinned brother with green eyes. And my point was, I did a whole little skit in the beginning. I went like this. Could it be, just, I won't hold you, just, could it be that you lost those roles to a better actor? Yeah. Very possible.
Yeah.
So that's why we're running down his movies, we're running down his roles, and Tyrese was in big movies. You could even say Tyrese was in just as many like big movies as Terrence Howard was in. As far as like, you know, franchise, the Fast franchise is one of the biggest franchises in cinema.
Tyrese he's in 2 franchises. 2.
Yeah, Transformers as well. Yeah. He's in 2 major franchises. 2.
He's been eating off of for like 15 years. And you really complaining? Bro, shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
So for you to say, and like I said before, stand in your truth, brother. If you think that that's what it is, but here's where you went wrong. You just did a film with this brother. And you talking about we laugh about it now. No, he ain't laughing about nothing by you throwing him under the bus by saying, you know how many, even though he's not saying it's Terrence's fault, because you know, us light-skinned brothers, we just born this way. So you know, we just look good. But no, I'm trolling, y'all. I'm trolling. But he does say Terrence Howard, you know, he shouldn't have named Terrence Howard or any other person for that matter. He should not have even named Terrence because that's not right.
No, he should just say, I feel like sometimes I lose roles to light skin. Just
keep it general.
And don't name nobody. Like you know how many actors have gone out here and say, no, I lost out this role to another role. Like I didn't get the part in Star Wars, for example. Very rarely do you hear him say who they lost the role to, you know, very rarely because actors lose roles all the time, and the last one, so they just have a better fit and they lose. But you can't say, well, you know, I just lost out on Expendables 4 because you know Stallone wanted to bring 50 Cent in there,
right?
You know?
That'd be his next complaint. He'll be saying, yeah, he should have got me. That's what he said. He'd have been like, I'm more of an action dude, which he's right. He is more of an action dude. I'm more of an action dude than 50 Cent. You should have got me in Expendables instead of 50 Cent. Hey, you actually could have an argument for that, right?
Yeah,
but you know,
that one, yes,
you can have an argument for that because you are the more experienced actor. You are very experienced with action films. So yeah, I could see you arguing that. Watch, he'll probably do it too. But like I said, for him to argue, but he'll sit there and say, he'll sit there and say, now here's another thing. Even though I don't think it's an argument, but he'll argue, if you want to argue The Rock, right? Because you may think that you're a better actor than The Rock or more experienced.
No.
You could argue it. Some people may argue, some people not. But The Rock is just a bigger, you know, he's a huge name. So that's just not even a question, you know. But the bottom line is, Tyrese, you don't show no range. You have had chances to show range. And if this I'm giving you two more. You got one more shot out of 2 movies to show me range. And based on these characters, you should be able to show some range. One is the Morbius movie. That's a Marvel movie. Another big movie that you're in. It's a Marvel movie, right? So now you're playing an FBI agent. Show me some range, man. Do not play the FBI agent from Crenshaw. I don't want the FBI agent from Crenshaw Boulevard or whatever. You know, from the Slauson swap meet. I don't want that FBI agent
rolling up with his Timbs and his
Give me an
his pants hanging
FBI
off his
agent
ass
from somewhere you don't know nothing about. Maybe this FBI agent's from the Midwest. Maybe he's from the East Coast. Hell, maybe he's from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Something. Give me a background. Bring
Give me an
something to the
accent.
table.
Give me an accent. How about give me an accent?
Bring something to the table.
Give me an accent. How about
bring
that?
something
And
to the
Tyrese,
table, man. Yeah, give an accent, even if it's just a dialect. Make them be from Boston. Give me a Boston accent. Give me a Boston accent. You know what I'm saying? Give me that Boston accent.
cousin from Boston.
You know
There
what I'm
you
saying?
go. There you go. You know, but
give him a Boston accent. Yeah,
but Tyrese,
you know what I'm saying?
you want to know? It's this you talk about. You know one thing that Dwayne I can't call him Rock. Dwayne did that showed that he has some kind of range. Yeah, he came out. He did the Scorpion King. One, he went to go take acting lessons. Two, doing that Disney movie. You know, the game plan made him marketable to kids.
Yeah,
you know. So he doesn't always have to come out and do some
showing range. Showing range doesn't necessarily mean you have to do Shakespeare in the Park. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're doing a variety. You're appealing to a variety of audiences. That's showing some range. You know what I'm saying? And showing range even deeper in your characters, obviously giving that character something. When you build characters, right? And here's an educational moment for you, for all of y'all out there. You know, I always do this. When you build characters, you're supposed to give them certain things, all characters. And it's not he didn't write the character, but as an actor, you're supposed to bring something of your own to the role.
Yeah.
You know, characters always have a quirk, right? Every good character has a quirk, some sort of quirk that they have. Every good character has a flaw, right? You got to give a character a flaw, whether it's a vice, whether it's something, they have to have a flaw, right? You know, so what you need to do as an actor is bring to the table, what can I do with this background of this character that I can, you know, really, you know, and find out what the background is. You don't want people writing to you where it's like, well, Tyrese doesn't really have that much range, so we're gonna make this FBI agent from Crenshaw.
Yeah.
No. You're like, yo, what's the FBI? Oh, he's from Boston. Okay. I'm gonna go spend some time in Boston. I'm gonna I'm gonna hire a dialect coach, and I'm going to learn.
Yeah, man, spend some money to spend some money on your craft. I'm quite sure when you were coming in the music business, you spent money on vocal lessons, learning how to breathe. I know he's been playing Jody for years. Just
prime
Jody,
time.
Jody in the military. Jody, you know, stealing cars.
Jody goes to the military. Jody stealing cars. Jody drives cars. Jody fights big robots.
Yeah.
It's like Jody has 3 other brothers.
Yeah. Give me. Show me Jody show me Jody crying. Show me that. Show me Jody taking care
of. He crying, Baby Boy.
He only cried after his homeboy smoked. No, after his homeboy smoked Snoop Dogg, and he was sitting there crying on the floor when Ving Rhames came was there. But he didn't say that. He was just like, "Get the gun," you know, because he thought his mom's boyfriend was going to kick him out or something. But you wasn't really crying. But show me something that you actually can carry. And quite frankly, all your movies you act the same. I'm quite sure that's not how you are in real life. Bring some of your real life stuff
into some real life stuff into it, man. Like don't always, like I said, it's acted, so you're supposed to explore with these characters. I know these professional screenwriters are fleshing these characters out for you. I'm sure they're giving the backgrounds of characters, but like I said, if you get cast as the role and you're like, you know, they're like, okay, well, you know, the background is from here, or maybe he only gets cast in roles with characters like that.
But
FBI agent from Crenshaw.
No, but I'm saying, but there's a bunch of people that get cast for roles, right, that are all theoretically stereotypical, right? But somehow they make them stand out on their own, right? Where you do remember them, where they're like home. All right, like for example, because He Got Game was on the other day, and the guy I think is on John Slately, the one that played Luther from Set It Off. He's been in a bunch of different movies. And basically, he plays pro, but but every time you see him on screen, he's somewhat different. He's different from Set It Off than he is in He Got Game, than how he was in Clockers.
Clockers, right?
He's
Yeah.
always different. You're not trying to be different, like you say. Jody robbing the bank, Jody stealing the car, Jody fighting a robot. You know, Jody going to the military.
Oh,
Jody. You know?
That's terrible.
Now it's gonna be Jody fighting Morbius. It's gonna be the same crap.
Jody fighting the vampire.
Jody fighting a vampire.
Oh man.
Where's my garlic? Where's my
garlic?
Where's my garlic?
Where's my garlic? Oh,
I want to see Joe. I want to see Jody do something vastly different. Jody playing with some kids.
Yeah.
You know? Jody in a romantic comedy where it's not about.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never been a Kevin Hart fan, but he showed me something with that new film.
I'm sorry, man.
Fatherhood. He showed me something. He showed me he has grown as an actor.
Yes.
In Fatherhood. I was like, yo, because he wasn't the same old, Kevin Hart. Like there was some funny parts in it, but he wasn't trying to be like funny. What I'm saying? The parts that were funny was just like
it was
just
supposed
parts
to be
that
funny.
was meant to be funny.
It was supposed to be. But when he busted into that room and he was telling when they said, well, this is a class for single mothers, he says, well, I'm a single dad and I don't know my daughter's doing she's shooting green shit, she's shooting brown shit, and I don't know what it means. I need help. You was like, damn, I really felt for him.
I didn't laugh at him at that scene. You know what I'm saying? Like even I don't know if some people did because it's Kevin Hart, but no, you like he showed me something there. So Tyrese, you got to show some.
You can
range,
do it
brother.
too, man.
And I hate to spend so much time on Tyrese.
I know,
but it just bugs me out, and that stuff really gets to me because I hate when people use the colorism is real. We know that it's in the industry, it's in the world. It's too real because I've experienced it. Probably, there's a lot of people that have experienced it on different sides. Hell, it circulates the internet with the light skin memes. I laugh at them, but not everybody laughs at them. Some people get offended by them. So, but
and I'm gonna tell you this. You know who you could say, at my view, is the poster child for being different, and it just happens on television. Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Let's be real. When Jamie Foxx first came out, a lot of people just thought he even his own co-star, right? Mm-hmm. Charles Dutton said that he can't act. He's nothing more than a buffoon. That's all he knew how to do was crack jokes. But when he did Any Given Sunday, when he was going toe to toe with Al Pacino, you looked at Jamie Foxx and said, "That ain't Jamie up there trying to get with Fancy." There was nothing funny about that guy. And right now, Collateral is on. He's not funny in this at all.
He was great in Collateral. He was awesome in that. I mean, he's already proved that he's a phenomenal actor.
Right.
He's proved he's a phenomenal actor, but that, that's I'm gonna get off Tyrese now because we've been.
Are we gonna leave Jody alone?
We gonna leave Jody. We gonna leave Jody. We gonna let Jody. He's got a couple of films coming up, and we'll see. I mean, he actually has a few slated. He's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slated. That would be Morbius up next. Come Out Fighting. You got The System. You got Dangerous. You got April 29th, 1992, and then you got Desert Eagle. So these are all
April 29th, 1992. What's that? That must be about the LA riot.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's about the LA riot.
Jody rioted.
Jody in the riot.
Jody still in the TV.
Oh man.
Jody jacking somebody's car. I see.
Man. Yeah, this is a shopkeeper must save his son from an angry mob during the LA riot uprising after the Rodney King verdict.
Mm-hmm.
So a shopkeeper Jody owns a pawn shop, right? Jody steals
probably,
a TV.
No, it's probably a gun shop. He probably had a gun shop or a liquor store.
Right.
Now you want there you go stereotypical.
But that's in LA. So
but that would be stereotypical. It'd be stereotypical that all the stuff that you could have been in LA during that, you were either the owner or working in a gun store or a liquor store. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, so those films coming up, and you got out of those films, Tyrese, in my opinion, you got 2 times to show me at least once that you can pull some range, because that character from the system, that could be a range character if you do it right. A young soldier, newly returned from war, gets caught up in a drug bust. He is recruited by the authorities to go undercover in a notoriously dangerous prison in order to figure out what is really going on.
Jody is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jody in prison. So
Jody in prison.
But Morbius, he plays an FBI agent. So there you go. There's your opportunity. Please don't be the FBI agent from Crenshaw. Be the
FBI agent from Boston. Yeah. Wear a suit. Actually have a suit.
The kid process. Jody made a sign. I guess you're talking about the riots. Jody made a sign. Oh man, this is just bad. It just came to.
That's the new meme, Jody.
That's the new meme.
Jody's still in the car.
Jody made a robot. Oh my God, Jody fights a robot. That should be the name of the movie. Jody fights a robot. Oh, yeah, don't even go there, man. Don't be trying to play. Don't try to blame people for your nonsense. You know, for your.
You know what, Tyrese? Now I'm sitting thinking about. You know what I would like to see you do if you want to stay in that hood. Even though Mr. Singleton has passed away, I wouldn't mind seeing Baby Boy 2, where did Jody ever really grow up to be the man that his girl thought he was going to be? You know, now you got a child in the end, and when that's going off, he's him. What was the girl's name? Keisha. She's sitting there about to have baby number 2. Right now, you live with her, but did you really grow up to be the man that you were supposed to be? You know, and then maybe you do it where it didn't work out because you just couldn't get off the couch. You couldn't put at that time the Nintendo down. And and Keisha left you, but now you're fighting to get her back, and now you grow up to be the man that you.
Her name was like Yvette or something like that.
Yvette. Yeah, I think it was Yvette.
Yeah.
You know, but now you've grown up to be the man that she felt you should be, and it is. You know, it could still be set in the hood, but now it's not in the hood in the 90s. It's the hood it's LA in 2021. It's a little much different. You know.
Right. Like I said before, you could take certain roles and add range to them. Just like you said, I mean, Denzel has different roles that he brings a certain range to. He obviously plays a wide. I mean, let's be honest. If you want to be real honest with yourself, Denzel Washington plays a lot of the same type of characters, but he has been known to, it's not like he's never done range. Not every, I'm not gonna lie to you people, not every role Denzel Washington takes, he's a different character showing different range. That's not true. He plays a lot of the same type of character. He's done it before in the past. That's fine. A lot of actors do that. That's just like saying, Robert De Niro plays a lot of gangsters. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he does.
But even with that one, But even with that, when the gangster in Goodfellas is different than the gangster in Casino, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was definitely, because the gangster Casino was definitely different. Gangster Casino. Now Pesci's gangsters was the same in those two movies.
It's the same. They're the same.
But De Niro's gangster, first of all, he went from playing a Irish Italian to playing a Jewish person, right? The Jewish gangster. He was more mild-mannered. He wasn't violent. He wasn't that type of dude. He wasn't, like where he played Jimmy Conway. He was way more, because, I mean, that's also based on a real person, but still, I think Soul Casino was too, I believe. So, yeah, they're different gangsters. Al Pacino is even. I mean, not Al Pacino. I mean, what's his name? Al Capone is even a different type of gangster.
Yep.
You know what I mean? With range, different range.
And
So you
hell,
can still take the
you can,
same
and you
same
can still
type
say
of
when him playing Vito Corleone. I
yeah.
mean, come on, he's talking in
Playing
Italian.
young Vito. He's talking the whole
Italian.
movie. So here's the deal. We just gave you 4 examples of the same type of character, but the actor managed to bring range to the different range to the character, some sort of variety. You got same thing with Al Pacino, Michael Corleone, mild mannered dude who became the head of the crime family, still was mild mannered actually, but just was a business minded whatever to make these decisions. Then you got Tony Montana, who's a nutcase. You know what I'm saying? You got Tony Montana, completely different type. Then you could swerve over to Lefty,
Carlito's Way,
or Carlito's Way. Lefty from Donnie Brasco. He was the old gangster, the old about to retire type. Knowledge, knows everybody, always got the hookup. That dude.
But in between those guys, like I said, like we're sitting here, we're talking like if you take that 90 period when you got De Niro, yeah, he plays Conway in Goodfellas, but then he backs it up with Awakening, right?
Yeah.
Then he backs it up with Cape Fear, Then he comes with Casino. So he got a stretch where he's playing 4.
Cape Fear, he just like completely. He almost made my list. He didn't make my top 10, but he almost made my top 10 list for villains. That I'm gonna run down soon, in a few minutes. Yeah, one last jab at Tyrese. He said, "Baby Boy 2, explore Jody's life of playing the character of himself in every movie."
There you go. Being being John Malcolm, what's that? Being John Malcolm.
Tyrese Gibson.
Being Tyrese Gibson. When you're into his brain, you're into his brain.
Yeah. Being Tyrese Gibson. So that's it for Tyrese. We're all for Tyrese now, but Tyrese, come on, man, pipe down. Get out, show some range in your acting, and maybe you won't lose out to Terrence Howard. Period. Exactly. That we could have stopped this conversation with that. Get your game up. Get your acting game up. Exactly. That's it. You getting good gigs, and you getting some big roles, not big roles, but big movies. But get your acting game up, bruh. I think you're just mad because you ain't getting them roles you want. So, he said he still got Terrence Howard in his mouth. Pause. Yeah. So, yeah, he's and they just did a film together. Have in Hollywood. He just did a film with a third film with Terrence Howard. And instead of saying there's colorism in the industry, he gonna go and say, I don't know how many. I can't even tell you how many roles I lost out to Terrence Howard because he was the light skinned brother with green eyes. Come on, man, that's whack. That's whack. So, like we mentioned at the top of the show, Candyman is out. Is Candyman, and this is a question to everyone out there, is Candyman on your list of movie villains, top 10 movie villains of all time? And probably not, because I don't think he has enough history. Although there were several films of Candyman that just weren't all that good, but there were several Candyman films. For me, it's the first one, the first original one. That was just, really good. But so I'm gonna run. Did you get a chance to make a list, Ralph?
I had to think about this because I was like, you said like top 10 villains, but we've kind of done that. But I was like, so like if I do that, do I do it and not put Vader in there because he kind of stands over everybody?
That's a great question. Yes, you could put Vader in there. He's a villain, he was, But here's the deal. The only thing I didn't do, and I'm sure other people can do it and will do it, I did not pick like slasher movie characters. I didn't do that. I didn't go with Michael Myers. I didn't go with Jason. I didn't go with Freddy Krueger. I'm just talking about overall, because to me, those characters don't have any depth to them, really. They're just killers. You know, Freddy Krueger may have the most depth to him as far as the character goes. So I didn't use them, or you know, Leatherface, or any of the slasher movie people. The only slasher movie, and it's, you know, I guess it's considered a slasher movie, would be Psycho, maybe like Norman Bates. You know what I'm saying? You could use him because that character had a lot of depth to him, you know. So I could see him. But I didn't use any of those. So I'm gonna run down real quick. Well, I'm gonna run down my list, right? This is the top 10 movie villains. And some of them, a lot of people may be surprised by some of them on my list. I had to think about them, and I moved a few around. So my number 10, I'll share this. I think I got a picture of it. So number 10 on my list. Let's go here. Okay. Number 10. Kilgrave. Okay. AKA the Purple Man from the series Jessica Jones. He's a Marvel Comics villain. Has the ability of basically telling you he can push people. He has the I don't know what that's called. It's like a telekinetic type of ability, but you could push people. You could push them to do things that they don't want to do, right? Or, you know, against their will, whatever. He has that ability, right? I used him as my number 10 because I just thought he was just he had a crazy power, number one. Number two, you know, he was just played very well by the actor in there. I don't remember the actor's name. My number 9, and this one might throw people. Number 9 on my list, Clubber Lang. What? Clubber Lang. Yes. Clubber Lang is on my list, and I'll tell you why. Clubber Lang in this Rocky series that we've all know and love. This was the first and probably the only time that you saw he got Rocky out of his character. He was able to pull Rocky out of his character. And Rocky was always that modern, you know, modest, you know, win and, you know, have a few jokes here and there, just like when he's fighting Apollo. Oh man, that's Apollo. Yeah, who'd you think? Well, I was hoping he wouldn't show up, you know, stuff like that. He had those little, you know, little things there, right? He was always modest. But when Clubber Lang in this scene, when he speaks to Adrian, hey woman, you know what I'm saying? Since your old man ain't got no heart. Hey woman, come over to my little apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Yo, he had some of the Rocky lost it. You ain't never seen Rocky again lose it like that in any movie. Even when Drago killed Apollo in the 4th movie, Rocky never acted like that. He was like, they had the whole Rocky back. He was going crazy. Cause you don't talk to Adrian, bro. You don't talk to Adrian. And this boy here, and he had the illest quotables. He had the best quotables in the movie. What'd he say? Balboa, I'm gonna beat you like a dog. You hear me? A dog. He said that. Then he said, you know, you washed up. I'm the baddest in the world. You don't look so bad to me. What you say, paper champion? Just going crazy on him, right? What's your prediction for the fight? Pain. Go ahead. He was the man, yo. He was the man. So Clubber Lang is number 9 on my list for movie villains because he took a character, the main character, out of his own element, out of his character. Number 8, Earl Talbot Blake from Ricochet,
I like
from the film
I go with
Ricochet. Earl Talbot Blake, played brilliantly by John Lithgow, is my number 8 on my list. That man took Denzel Washington's character through the ringer. I mean, he literally took apart this man's life. Earl Talbot Blake. I mean, he's definitely, for a man who for all of those who didn't see Ricochet, go out and see it. Check it out. I mean, it's one of the Denzel Washington movies that may have flew under the radar. Maybe people didn't really, don't remember it as much. But Denzel Washington plays a prosecutor. He puts, this guy's character behind bars. There's a couple other things he did too. First, he was a cop, I believe. Yeah, he was a cop. And then he ended up busting Blake and putting him behind bars. Blake was behind bars and vowed to get back, get out and get revenge on this dude. And that's what he does. He breaks out of prison years later after Denzel's character becomes a prosecutor, a district attorney. And, he gets out and basically turns this man's life upside down. He said there's one scene where he makes a video of him holding an axe to the man's kid while he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, yo, the dude was at what? Yeah, so Earl Talbot Blake. He was number 8. Number 7. That's where I put in Darth Vader, and I'll tell you why he's so far down. Darth Vader, he made my number 7, and the only reason why he fell, now he used to be in my top 3, and I'll tell you why he's not in my top 3 anymore. Because I replaced him with someone else, and obviously I'll show you, and you'll get the meaning of that when I get there. But Darth Vader is a son of a what, but he was redeemed. He found redemption by the time his arc came to an end, and that's why I didn't put him that high up. He dropped lower.
Oh,
okay,
man, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Hater.
Number 6, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, this dude, and this is more so dealing with my knowledge of Lex Luthor and everything that he my knowledge and everything that that he's done from the comics and stuff like that. Comics, cartoons, you may know about him. Obviously, everyone knows who he is. He's the arch enemy of Superman, as they call it, and one of them, and the main one, right? But this super, supposed to be like one of the most brilliant people on the planet. Blah 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 blah. Lex Luthor definitely is in there, played by many different people, of course, portrayed by many different actors, including Gene Hackman, Kevin Spacey. A lot of people forget that Kevin Spacey played Lex Luthor. Okay, so my next one, speaking of Kevin Spacey, Kaiser Sose.
Yeah, I go with that.
Kaiser Sose. Okay. What can I say? This man, first of all, this is one of the most, the ending of this film is one of the best endings of any film, period. Okay. Yeah. This film is this film alone, The Usual Suspects, is probably in my top, it's definitely my top 20. It may even make my top 10 personal favorite films as far as just, it was flawless to me. The writing, the directing, the acting, it was flawless. I couldn't find nothing wrong with this film. No plot holes, nothing. Film was flawless.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't see the movie theater. I saw it on I think blue DVD. I did not see that ending coming. I did not see it coming.
Nobody saw that ending coming.
That is a classic performance.
It's classic. No one saw that ending coming. No one saw it coming. It was in front of you, but not in front of you. the way it was written was perfectly written. Nobody saw that coming. So that is Kaiser Sose is what number am I up to? What number was he? Number 5? Is he in my 5? Yeah. Or was it? Yeah, I think Luthor was 6. He's number 5. Now Kevin Spacey shows up again in my top 5. But there's the usual suspects again. Here's my other Kevin Spacey villain, John Doe from 7. That character, he had, just from the ending, and I won't spoil it for you people who've never seen the movie 7. But
now,
if you haven't seen 7,
there's something seriously wrong with you.
If you haven't seen the movie 7, please log on to Amazon Prime. If you're a Prime member, it's free. Watch the movie 7. And then while you're at it, watch the movie 7 to 7, which is my movie, directed by the Clark brothers. Written and directed by the Clark brothers. Watch 7 to 7, shameless plug. Because usually if you look up, actually one time, the last time I looked up 7 to 7 on Amazon, currently on Amazon Prime, right next to my movie was the movie 7. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm right next to the movie 7. So when you get a chance, check out 7 to 7. If you had time, there's a lot of movies named 7 in it. So you can just search it. The best way to search it is to put the last name of the star of the film, which is Valerie Wong. So if you put in the number 7, 727, number 7, TO, and then the word spelled out 7. But put the last name of Valerie Wong, just put 7 to 7 Wong, and it'll come up. Shameless plug. So back to this. John Doe is this character. Oh my lord, he has the final say. He actually gets what he wants.
Yeah.
He won. That's why he has to be in the top 5. He won. He's the villain that won because he got what he wanted, and he took a few people out with him, to say the least. So he's my number. I want to say he's number 4.
I had to admit, man, when I first saw that, and the way they have it, where it goes from different shots, and then you hear like this pulse that sounds like a heartbeat going on, and it's like, and you hear the wind going. You're like, damn, this like some real. It's like I was sitting there like, and it was on. I was like, this is like real life drama going on, really in front of me. Like, do you do them or do you let them go?
Yo, let me tell you something. That is for a film. That is one of the realest situations you're ever going to see, because it's like, whoa, what do you do? Do you kill this man? You're a cop. Do you kill him, or do you remember that you're a cop and just take him into custody? See the movie 7. I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it. Okay, my top 3. Now I'm gonna tell you why I moved Darth Vader out of number 3. Because my number 3, well, there's him again. That's 7 still. My number 3 is Emperor Palpatine. That's why I moved him. I moved Darth, because if there was no Emperor Palpatine, there will be no Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine is the one who's been pulling the strings from the beginning. There wouldn't be a Darth Vader if it wasn't for him. And his evilness stretched all the way through to the last Star Wars film. So, which has just recently happened, the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that one, but
not only did he's responsible for Darth Vader, he's responsible for what was his name? Jeez, I can't think of his name right. He was Maul. He's responsible for
he is.
Christopher
Maul.
Lee's character. Who's Christopher Lee?
Dooku.
Yeah, Count Dooku. He's responsible for all these guys. So he, to me, is he's the villain. He's a bigger villain than Vader because he created Vader. He created Vader and put the battery in his pack.
See, I like I said, I see where you're going with that.
And then he was actually responsible for Vader's death because Vader, in his redemption, tries to save his son. If you ain't seen Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, then I'm just
turn this show off right now.
I'm just gonna spoil it for you.
Turn this show off right now.
In Vader's attempt to save his son's life, his final redemption, his claw for redemption, which obviously did redeem him because he then changed to the Force ghost of Anakin. He came back to Anakin before he died. Emperor Palpatine is the number 3 on my list because there would be no Vader without him. That's why he's there. All right, down to my number 2 now. Of course, you knew he had to show up. Thanos. Thanos is my number 2. And for obvious reasons, he snapped away half of the entire universe in his quest to what he was trying to make people believe.
Balance.
This is the way. My way is the way. I'm telling you, it means something. It has purpose. It's not just meaningless, which it did. I'll give you that. He had purpose. So, and some people may even argue that he had a point. Things get overpopulated. That overpopulation is a big reason why there's a lot of famine and starvation and poverty and things like that all over the world. And in his case, all over the universe. So he said, instead of being biased, right? Let's not take the poor people and do nothing for them and let them die off for population control. Let it be non-biased. Let it be random. Rich, poor, middle class, black, white,
old.
Whatever, young, old, boom, bop, bop. Doesn't matter. Random, unbiased. As Wonder Kid Prime says, genocide. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Heaven Hollywood puts Catherine Trammell for planning out murders years in advance. Yeah, she's definitely one of the smarter ones. She's on my top 20. She didn't make my top 10. And so Thanos is number 2 only because he had purpose, whether you agreed with it or not. He had and at the end of the day was when he succeeded, he stopped. He didn't go for more blood. He didn't go after anything else. When he finally succeeded what he wanted to do, as he promised, he stopped. Right? So when he succeeded in what he wanted to do, he stopped. So my number 1, he's number 2. Number 1 is this guy, the Joker. The Joker is my number 1 villain. He's cinematic, and you're talking about for film. Yeah, he's in film as well. Obviously, for his character all the way around from the comic books, but portrayed by many different people and many different incarnations of it. Even the Lego guy. Yeah, but no matter what, the Joker, for the same reasons that Thanos is number 2, is why the Joker is number one. He has no redemption. He doesn't want it. He never would rest. He will never rest. He is the clown prince of crime. He's all he does is want mayhem and chaos. That's what he wants. That is what he is here for. That's what he's here for. So because Thanos, Vader, people like that, he is just, they have redemption. Some people said Killmonger some people actually agreed with Eric Killmonger's reasoning, especially when they saw how he got kind of screwed over by the Wakandians. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, it's this dude he is definitely, the Joker has no redemption. He doesn't want it. He's not looking for it. Unapologetically chaotic. They tried even in the Joker film with the one that just the last one that they did with Joaquin Phoenix. They tried to give him a backstory, which they did. It was a good movie, but still, just at the end of the day, Joker just wants chaos. He just wants to see the city burned. And then after he discovers Batman, as he runs into Batman, he gets an obsession with the Batman, where he's pretty obsessed with trying to. He almost wants to make Batman break his code of not killing and stuff like that. Him and Batman are just this thing, right? So, but yeah, the Joker is my number one on the list. That is my top. Evan Hollywood says Wile E. Coyote, super
Yosemite
genius.
Sam.
Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Yeah, so your youngins won't know what I mean when I say that, but check out the Looney Tunes. Wile E. Coyote was, he's always chasing the Roadrunner, failing. He's probably one of the worst bad guys in the history of television because he really is. He never ever caught the Roadrunner, except for in Family Guy.
No, one time he did catch the Roadrunner. I remember one time he did catch the Roadrunner, and he let him go. Because he was like, but if I kill you, then I got nothing else to do. So we just keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, I didn't, they got that famous Family Guy episode where he's like, he caught him. He finally caught him, and it was the same thing though. In that episode, he caught him, and then he killed him and he ate him, and then his life just went to shit after that because he had no more purpose. He was sitting on television. He's watching, clicking. He's getting a belly. He's watching television. And he's just like, his life had no meaning anymore. Had no more purpose. So, yeah. But like I said before, I let you, number one, once again, was the Joker. These are probably the most famous versions of him in cinema, played by these Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix. So I believe, that's my number one right there. That's my top 10 movie villains right now. And it may change because it did change before because Vader was in it, but I got to thinking about it and I said, wait a minute. If there's no Palpatine, there's no Palpatine, there's no Vader. Palpatine created Vader. He put the battery, he turned him to the dark side. He put the battery in his pack. He lied to him about his wife being dead. He did all of that stuff that That the first thing Vader did when he woke up, where is I can't do James Earl Jones' voice, but where is Padme? Is she safe? And he's like, I am afraid you killed her. he said, in your anger, you killed her. Now, did Palpatine know if she died or not? He probably
did.
didn't. He probably did know if she died or not because he could probably sense the kids. You know what I'm saying? He could probably sense her. So he may have known. But the bottom line is, he lied to Vader and said that you killed her. Which, it's kind of like he kind of did. But Anakin, you're breaking my heart. That's probably like the worst dialogue ever written for a movie. Like, I'm like, come on, man, that was so corny. But anyway, there you have it.
That's a real good list. So see now I got the pressure. I got to come up with a list where practically nobody on my list is on your list because you can't duplicate.
Oh God,
can't duplicate. So
there's plenty of villains out there.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna cross a couple of them. You're gonna have to.
There's the only person that's on my list that's yours is Vader. Everybody else is somebody different, right? So I'm gonna start.
Oh yeah, Heaven Hollywood made a comment on Wile E. Coyote. He wanted the chase. That's it.
That's all he wanted.
That's true. He lived for the chase. He lived for the chase.
Once the chase is over,
once the chase is over, that was it. He had no meaning. His life had no meaning. Go ahead. What you start?
All right, so I'm gonna start mine. My number 10 bully of all. Villain of all time is a bully. I'm going with Biff.
Biff Tannen. I had him in my top. He's in my top 20, but I got you. That's dope. Right. Biff Tannen.
He has this because when you see Back to the Future, you see that every generation of Biff messes with the McFly family. The present, the past, and the future keeps messing with the McFly family. So the only way you deal with it, you got to take it out from Jump Street at the beginning of the timeline. And once you smack him real hard, problem solved. They thought they did it Back to the Future, but no, they didn't. They went back. Right? Then they found that he became a bigger problem because now he got money. So then they went back to Old West. Now he got a 6-shooter. You gotta take him out. We got to solve this guy's problem.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Biff. Every timeline he went to, Biff was a problem. There was never, except for when he finally came back to his other timeline, and Biff was like his flunky. He was like because that was only because because he got his ass that was only because he got his behind kicked. Exactly. That was the only reason. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can dig that.
That's my number. All right. My number 9. See, I'm thinking of this as I'm going. My number 9, I'm going to say, is a character that a lot of people didn't see, but you should have. Her name is Lily Dillon from the movie The Grifters. Right, played by the great Angelica Houston. Right, this woman is she works for, I guess you say, gangsters, money launderers, whatever. But first, she tries to convince her son that he doesn't need to be on the grift. He needs to be a straight guy. And when he doesn't want to follow her, and she tries to kill his girlfriend. Then she tries to steal his money because she's in trouble. And then she says, "Well, what if I tell you that I'm not really your mother? Would you like to sleep with me? How would you feel about?" There you go, right there.
Yeah,
right there, tough as nails, right? But she played it perfectly. Angelica Houston she's one of those slept upon talents that she's played some stuff, and like between that one and Prissy's Honor and the Addams Family, she's done some stuff that people really kind of like slept on her and doesn't really give her the note that she deserves. But watch Grifters, and you can say, "Damn!" Because she just shows she go through anything to get money. Even telling her real son, I'm not your real mother. Do you want to sleep with me? Just to steal your money. That's cold. That's cold.
Yeah, that's pretty cold.
That's cold.
That's pretty cold. Good. That's a good choice. Good choice.
All right. My number 8 is going to be Khan from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Right. The guy is superior to human beings in every single way, except we got one flaw: women, which we all have women. Right. He almost kills Captain Kirk and destroys Enterprise in the first one, but the woman that will later become his wife does something to stop him. Right? But now, 15 years later, his wife is dead, and Khan wants blood. He's stranded on the planet, and the United Federation plans happen to find him by accident. What does he do? He tortures. He captures the crew. He tortures the captain. He steals their ship. He abandons them, and he goes out running the universe looking to kill Kirk.
Yep.
And then when he finds out about the device that where
Joseph Tanner.
And then when he finds out about a device where he can create his own planet, he's like, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna kill Kirk. And nothing stopped him from trying to do it.
Yeah, he was doing
Even when his
thing.
own people said we don't need to go ahead and he was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. We're going after him.
That's true.
You know? And
played brilliantly by Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah. Even when he was dying and he knew that, he was like, from hell's heart, I spit my last breath at thee. Yeah. It was like, no, I hate you. I hate you. He said, but you can't escape. You can't get out of this. I've crippled your ship. You're not going nowhere. You're gonna die just like me. But Kirk pulled it out at the end, though it was a heavy price, but he did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And remember, reprised by Benedict Cumberbatch.
What was? I'm sorry. No. That was not Khan. That was some punk version of Khan. Right.
I know, but I'm just saying technically he was
but that Khan was more physical, because in that one he actually does interact with Kirk. But it was always better when Khan and Kirk never went toe to toe with each other in person. They said we took it out in space.
Out of space, yeah.
You get to space, where you can't really run and hide in your ship. We're taking it to space, and that's what, to me, I'm giving that one.
Well, yeah, I mean Ricardo Montalban, he killed it, man. That was great. It was great.
Exactly. All right.
Wrath of Khan.
So my number 6 is going to be. I hate to put him a little lower, but he's got to be a little lower for this slip, right? Is Max Cady from Cape Fear. Once again, guy goes to jail, and his whole mindset is like, I'm gonna get the prosecutor. I'm not getting the person that put me in jail. No. I'm getting the prosecutor. I'm going to torment. He's going to feel all the pain I have felt in the time I've been in jail. All he's done in jail is work out and read and work out. Yep. So when he comes out, all he knows how to beat him, and he does the stuff to find out what I can do to mess with my lawyer's life. That's his wife, his daughter, and his mistress. But he does it. He turns them, really, if you watch it, he really turns his wife and his daughter against him.
Turned his family against him, yeah.
He turned his family against him.
Brilliantly played by Robert De Niro. I mean, look at the shape that Robert De Niro got in for this role. Look at the shape he got in for this role, man. He's ripped. He's jacked for this role. And this man was, what was he in his?
Heavy in his 40s.
He was heavy in his 40s by then.
Yeah.
He really.
That's preparation and dedication right there.
Yeah. I mean, it was really, and Cape Fear is actually, a remake, but their version with him
better.
Oh my God, it was just so good. It was so good.
And it's one of those movies that no matter how many times you see it, you always sit there and you watch it. You always discover something else new, and it sucks you back into the story. No matter how
Murked his dog.
Murked his dog.
Yes, true.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my number 6. But speaking of Merc, now here go my number 5. My number 5 is Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Glenn Close. Nice,
Yeah,
pretty
Glenn
woman.
Close.
She hooks up with Michael Douglas on the weekend while his wife was away. We're gonna play. Gets pregnant, and next thing you know, nope.
Next thing you know, this picture right here.
She murked his daughter's rabbit. Murked his rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Told him I will not be ignored. Wait a minute, and then in the movie, she actually comes to his house as like, I'm thinking about buying it just to see who his wife was.
Just to see the wife.
Just to see what the competition was.
Boy, was she something else, man. She was something else.
Now I tell this story all the time, but when I my very first job, I worked in a movie theater. Right, it was summer '87. This came out October of '87, and it played for like 3 months in our theater. But in the first 6 weekends, right, the last 10 minutes was the best part of the whole movie. But
that movie, that movie was.
But when you thought she was dead and she comes out the bathroom and she gets shot, the whole theater every single time erupted in applause. You're applauding that that the wife kills her. You're erupting.
Yeah.
Like ain't that some shit? Like damn.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy.
So that's my number 5. That's my number 5.
Joseph said she's not going to
be ignored, Frank.
Not going to be ignored. For that's a quotable right there. I don't care the way she was like, "Yo, I am not going to be ignored, Frank."
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Now, my number 3 villain, because see, I'm trying to keep this in some realism. My number 3 villain is Nathan Jessup from A Few Good Men, and I tell you why. Particularly because of the times we live in. Listen, there's all kind of people in the federal government that do real dirt, and they keep it super quiet.
You can't handle the truth. Another quotable.
Yeah, you can't handle the truth. But that's exactly what Nathan just did. He ordered the code red, kept it quiet, changed the flight plans, forged documents, everything for his thing was that we're going to train you to be a soldier. And if you die, you die. Even to the fact where if he didn't get pressed, nothing would have happened. Because the 2 soldiers that did it were the fall guys. It was never going to come back to him.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing happens today in real life. You know, and look at that expression on his face. And not even the expression that he says, have you ever served in the infantry? Have you ever served in the forward command? We follow orders if people die. It's that quick.
Yeah, look, there it is. That's like the face he had on, basically.
Yep.
He's like, you follow orders or people
die. It's that
we follow orders or people die. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. It's like he basically say, you know what? I respect you more if you just say thank you.
Otherwise, you need to go pick up a gun and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn about what you think you're entitled to.
What you think you're yo? He was like, he played that. Yo, Jack Nicholson destroyed that role because he played the. Well, first of all our military people out there, y'all probably know this, especially if you're in the certain parts of the military. Everyone knows that the Marines, and you're a military person yourself.
The Marines get the short end of the stick when it comes to
they got it out for the Navy. They
didn't like the Navy.
They don't like the Navy. So you got a Marine, the top Marine. This man done seen some ish. He done seen it all. He's a general in the Marines, right? Or colonel. He's a colonel. He's a colonel.
Colonel Jessup.
Colonel Jessup. Now you got this in his mind, this snot-nosed
naval lawyer,
Navy swabby, basically telling him what to do, yelling at him, I want the truth. And that's why he's, and that's what the key to this movie was. The scenes before that whole big scene happened, when he figured out, you know what, I'm gonna get him to hang himself because he can't stand sitting there and me antagonizing him and not respecting his
uniform,
his rank.
His
Yeah,
rank.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you ain't
He
nobody.
can't stand it. Right.
You gonna
'Cause
answer
he's
my
like,
question. You gonna
he
answer
asked me
my
a question. You ever picked up a so you ever did this? You ever did? It ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. Answer the question.
No, answer the question. So that's my number 4. Now my number 3 through 1, I'm jockeying a little bit as I'm talking, and I'm gonna dip this person down. My number 3 is Hannibal Lecter. Right.
Okay. And
Sophisticated.
he's number 1 on a lot of people's lists.
A lot of lists.
A lot of lists. He's number 1.
Right, he really is. But for this second today,
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Hannibal, that's a cool name. Hannibal, that's a rapper's name. Hannibal the Cannibal.
Yeah,
right.
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Right, but he's calculated. He's intelligent. He takes his time.
He's not your average. He ain't your average, just bad guy. He kind of, to me, he's right up there with with the guy that was my number 3, which was John Doe. You know how John Doe planned out that whole thing from the beginning. Hannibal Lecter calculated, very, yeah.
Yeah, but that is Hannibal. I mean, and then when he gets free, what does he do? He doesn't go back on his rampage. No, he leaves the country. He lays low. So nobody knows where he is. He doesn't want to be found. He wants to attract attention until what? Until he's pushed. He's pushed. And he says, I'm thinking very seriously about eating your wife for dinner.
And not in the way that you think I think.
Not in the way you thinking. But why?
Matter of fact, you would much rather him do it that way than the way that he was thinking. He was thinking about like he did the census work.
Your ass.
Like he did the census work. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yeah, but he's very calculated.
That was so bad.
And he knew what he was doing. Great respect to Anthony Hopkins, because once again, this role was already played once before, not that long before it, but he took it and he put a different spin. Whereas he made it seem like this is the dude that's on the corner of your block in the house with no paint on it, with the messed up fence that you just want like don't let the ball go over the fence because we may never see you again. That's how he played it. That's how he played it.
You got one of the kids say he gonna watch the Cape Fear tonight. It's a classic.
That's right. Watch it. Now my number
he's seen
2,
it before, but he's gonna read. He's gonna watch
it. But my number 2 is in the same vein, but much more calculated, and it's gonna hit people like, damn, I forgot about her. My number 2 is Amy Elliott Doon from Gone Girl. Yo, she gave women across the planet the the plan to put your man in jail when he cheats on you. She had it mapped out. She was calculated.
Yo, she was crazy. She was like, I know Heaven Hollywood mentioned Catherine Trammell, and she was like the new age Catherine Trammell, on some different level.
No, this chick, she's on a look. The whole thing when you don't even see it, she doesn't show up into the movie till about a good 40 minutes in the movie. And when she's telling you the plan, she's like how she pulled it off, how she getting her blood drawn while she's reading the book and drinking the wine. She had it all planned where there was no coming back for this guy because she was gone. There was no coming back for her husband. No defense.
One of the better movies that I've seen when I saw it in a long time. I mean, even this picture, this still of but this film, like you said, she was so calculated. And this scene here, as we all know, that is one of the most. Let me tell you something for you people out there. If you have not seen Gone Girl, and you see it, this is one of the most ruthless scenes that you will
Cold,
ever
stone
see.
cold.
She is straight, yo. She's having sex with the dude and she slits his throat right as he's climaxing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And that
So
wasn't what got me is
came
that after
and went
he
at the
died,
same time.
she gets up, she pulls him off of him, she gets up and she cries and she's like, and she snaps back to life. Like that's what had to happen. And the guy that did it was a friend of her. Like it was her ex-boyfriend or something. But he was close. It was I think he was a childhood friend of hers.
Yeah.
Right? But she did now think about it. That's her childhood friend, and she did dirty like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going back to the husband to rescue
what
him.
a scene, man. Like I said, and the reason why I said about her being the new trap, because you haven't seen nothing like that from that scene since Catherine Trammell in the bed with, you know, in the beginning of Fatal with the ice pick, not Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct. With the ice pick, especially if you watch the director's cut, the uncut version. But she was stabbing that dude in the face, in the chest, all over like while she's having sex with him. So you haven't seen nothing like this since that. And this might have took it even a step further because of the way it went down and the graphicness behind it. Like the way they did Basic Instinct, it's still, even with the director's cut, it was still quick cuts, quick flashes, quick shots of her stabbing him.
But see,
which was crazy.
Here,
she was going crazy.
Here's the thing.
But this one, she slits this man's throat slowly, and I mean, she slits, and it just bleeds out all over him like a gutted him.
But here's the thing with that one. At least in Basic Instinct, the guy couldn't afford back because he was tied up, she's on top of him. This one, he's on top of her, and she tells him, "I want you to have sex with me." She initiates the entire thing, and as he's feeling it, he's like, "Oh my God, this is so good! I'm living my lifelong dream." Then comes the razor and like, swit. And then as the blood is pouring on her, and she's still having sex with this guy as the blood is dripping on her, and she it was like, dang. And then how the light was going in and out, black. It was like, damn.
It was so crazy. And I'm sorry, that's another situation. I did not see that coming. I don't know what she was trying to do, but I didn't see that coming. I knew she was obviously up to something. Didn't see that coming. Wow, that was like out of nowhere.
Not killing
him. At least you knew, like with Catherine
like
Trammell in the beginning of the movie, you see it, and that sets up the movie because that's pretty much what drives the movie. That scene in the beginning, right, of Basic Instinct. So then you're like anticipating: is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it again? Is she gonna do it to Michael Douglas? Is she gonna do it to Michael Douglas? So it's more anticipation and stuff like that. She never does it again to him, right? But in this one, you just didn't know what was going on. You just figured she was doing something. I thought maybe she'd take some pictures or do something stupid, like something. I didn't know what the hell she was gonna do. And I didn't know she was gonna do it like that. It did cross my mind that she might kill him, but I didn't think she'd do it like that.
Not like that.
Yeah.
No, maybe poison, maybe shoot him, but not killing him while he's having sex with you.
Great pick.
You just slit his throat, and even that one. Like at least Basic Instinct, like I said, Sharon Stone is on top and killing him. This dude is on top of her, and all the blood is pouring onto her body. It's like, damn, that's a new level of grime.
He said anything with my kid. Yeah, my brother.
Yes, Carter Hayes.
Did he make your list? He didn't make your list. He didn't make your top 10, though. Yeah, Michael Keaton as a villain. He said, "Yeah, Carter Hayes."
He did not make
was good. He was a great villain in Pacific Heights. Carter Hayes. I mean, that dude. He was like Carter Hayes made people. If you ever owned a home and you renting out an apartment to people, like Carter Hayes made you think twice about that, ever doing that again. Because he was he's like the tenant from hell. He's like the tenant from hell.
Yeah. Now, there's a few people in here I had to leave off. Like, there's no Hans Gruber, who certainly deserves being in. No Annie Wilkes deserves to
Right.
be on that. I mean, that's
Annie
like top.
Wilkes. Annie Wilkes. Yeah, she's definitely. She probably be in my top 20 because she was just like the ultimate stalker.
Yeah, she's in my
She's
top
the
20.
ultimate. She's the ultimate fan
The ultimate
slash
fan.
stan. The ultimate stan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she was ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a couple of people, but for me, and although I disagree with what Wes said, my one is always going to be Darth Vader, and for no other reason is that as Wes said, yes, Palpatine was the guy pulling the strings behind, but Anakin Skywalker was pretty strong in the Force. He really could have resisted, but he felt it was quicker because he wanted to save Padme. So even if I go with that, I'm looking at all the other stuff that Vader did. You gotta look no further than Rogue One. The way he just slaughtered everybody in that ship.
Yeah,
And the one thing about Vader, but the one thing about Vader always did stuff himself. He didn't send other people. He
did his own thing.
Even if he sent troops, he was leading the troops. He's like, I got this. I got this. He didn't say, I'll be back. He says, no, I got this. And he took everybody on himself. Tried to kill his kid, tortured his daughter, right? Cut his kid's hand off. I mean, damn.
But he did get redemption. But he found he also saved his kid's life.
Saved his kid's life.
At the end of the day. One the Kid Prime says he's not kidding. Scar from the Lion King. Hey,
yeah,
Scar makes some lists. Yeah, so speaking of killing family members, he sits there and straight kills throws his brother to the wolves, so to speak, almost literally to the wildebeests. Throws his brother off a cliff and lets him die. And he would have killed Simba too, but I guess he just told him to run away. He probably wished he would have killed him.
He never came back. He's gonna come back. Yeah. But there's a couple other folks that I would like to put down on the list. But that I think that's it.
That's a good list though. So Vader's still your number one?
Vader is always going to be the number one guy. I because I just don't see nobody else really. Because we look at real world that if you stood toe to toe with Vader, would you going to survive? Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, exactly. Answering your question, yes, Annie Wilkes is from Misery. Yeah, she's definitely an honorable mention because she wasn't on either one of our lists. Probably in the top 20, but didn't make the top 10. She was crazy, boy. Whoa. Hits him with the break. That's definitely another one of those scenes that you will always remember. That scene called hobbling, the hobbling scene, we call it. She's like, yes, the procedure they got is called hobbling. When it was like, it was something about when they stole something or whatever the case she said. She said it was from.
It was something else.
She put the brick. Oh my God, that scene will always stick in my mind. I remember seeing that in the movies, and I damn near had nightmares about that. I was just like, yo, that was sick.
Yeah,
that was sick.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Anyone who kills his brother should be number one. Yeah, well, if that's the case, Michael Corleone should be number one.
Number one, yeah, exactly.
He also ordered the hit of his brother, which his brother was a F up.
Now,
but that doesn't mean he should have killed him.
Now, what I just said, if I'm going to go, because since you included someone from TV, and I don't know how I feel about this until you said that. I would probably put from Star Trek the Borg. I would probably put them because they move as a collective unit as one. But the Borg are borderline impossible to beat because they can adapt to whatever attack you come with. They can adapt to it. They
might be impossible to beat, but are they? Does that make them, a great villain? You know what I mean? Like a top villain.
Think about that.
Terminator was also on a lot of people's list. The original Terminator. You could put any Terminator for that matter, but he can be beat, and he was.
But the Borg are nearly impossible. Like they move as an army. Like you maybe pick off a couple of them, but they're going to adapt to what you're doing, and then there's no stopping them. And then they don't kill you. They don't kill you. They capture you and turn you into one of them to keep expanding the army. Right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's because everybody else will just straight out kill you. No, they're like, no, we're not going to kill you. We're just going to change you. We're going to make you one of us. And they even tell you, and not for nothing, but when you meet them, they tell you, we're the Borg. Resistance is futile. Your soul is going to be one of us. Resistance is futile. They give you the warning before they do anything, and you still can't do nothing about them. So I would put the
some
Borg.
people, some people may. I've seen some lists where people put Skynet. Skynet. Some people said Skynet, but I'm like, I'm not putting it in that. I'm not putting a robot or whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put artificial intelligence. I'm thinking now, if you're gonna say there was a person that was controlling that artificial intelligence who built it, say, and I don't mean the black guy from Terminator because he wasn't a bad guy. He just built Skynet. But most of the time, the people building it aren't bad guys.
But did he really build Skynet? Because realistically speaking, he only developed what was found. He didn't actually create it. So if that's the case, you don't really know who the original Terminator comes from. You just Miles Dyson. He said he's responsible for advancing the project.
Well, I mean, the Terminators were created by Skynet.
But who created Skynet?
Miles created Skynet.
No, he didn't.
It's just
he
that,
didn't.
yeah, he did
No,
create
he
it.
did
He just used the technology that he had, the advanced technology, but he still created it.
But
so that's why they said because think about it. Time moves linear, right? So it's like, in order for that to happen, the Terminator had to go back. The Terminator had to get killed. The Terminator had to, they find his parts, and then he created Skynet. There you go. There's no other explanation for it.
See, there's no story because like they even said, he said we found the chip. It opened my ideas to things I never thought of, but somebody had to create the chip. So who created the actual chips that went into because he even said he couldn't do it because this chip opened ideas up to him that he never thought of, which means that without the chip he wouldn't have got where he was at. So somebody had to actually create the chip. So
according to the story, it was Skynet.
But what I'm saying, he is credited for.
Remember that chip wasn't a chip from Skynet. It was a chip from the Terminator.
Exactly. But
and basically that chip gave him the idea. So if he's gonna say that gave him the idea, then he still created it. But that chip gave him the idea and probably gave him the confirmation that he can do it. And here's how he can, because of the design of the chip, the sophistication of the of all of that stuff. But he still created it. He still created it.
I don't know. I think that's the question because if I listen to what he says in the movie, then somebody else actually is created it. So who actually created the chip? Because the way I'm perceiving it, it's not him.
Well, I mean, regardless, because after the fact, it still ended up being created. Skynet still ended up taking creation. It still ended up being created. They changed the story a couple times throughout the other movies, but based on the movies that are attached to that, he was pretty much, maybe, I don't know. Remember, Skynet evolved, so once it evolved and kind of took over the intelligence, it was able to, create itself, so to speak, or create Terminators and make itself bigger. Who knows? But I get what you're saying. Yeah, like I said before, here was my theory, and this is my theory way back in the day. My theory is, what do you call it? The Matrix is all connected.
You can stop it right now.
Yes.
No, stop it right now. Stop it right now.
John Connor is a descendant of Neo. Neo is a descendant of John Connor.
No.
Neo is a descendant of John Connor.
Nope.
The Matrix with
Nope.
those are the Matrix takes place way after, into the future after Terminator. That's just how much it evolved to the point where they started creating their own humans and started birthing their
Nope.
own humans. Yeah, man. Of course.
No.
Of course it's
Nope.
connected. Number one, the
Nope.
story comes from the same story. Both movies come from the exact same story from the Third Eye. That's the same story that those movies come from. Of course, you could connect the movies. They both were born from that same exact story. Look it up. Yeah.
That's
Oh
like
yeah.
that's like trying to say Blade Runner. That's like because Philip K. Dick wrote that Blade Runner really got something to do with Total Recall. No.
No, that's not what it is. No. What I'm saying is that's nothing like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you take two movies that was made from the same story, not the same writer, the same story, of course you could connect them. And the ideas of the movies came from the Third Eye, which was the story that was originally submitted to what's his face, the guy who directed Terminator and all of them, and he basically stole it and made the Terminator. But from that same story came the Matrix. That's why that whole situation happened with that lady who was suing for the Matrix, money and all that other stuff. And she sued both of them. She sued them. She sued them, the Wachowskis, and she sued what's his name? Cameron. Yeah. For that reason. So that's what I said. Well, no one knows where Neo came from. What is Neo? Why is Neo the one? Maybe Neo is a descendant of John Connor, the first person to ever take on the machines. And then, maybe he's a descendant of John Connor because the machines obviously won, continued on, and then they created the Matrix. They birthed the humans, started creating, because it wasn't that evolved even with Terminator. The Terminator was still a war against the machines and the humans. Obviously, the Matrix, the war was over, and the machines won. The machines won. They had the humans running scared, hiding. And then in the Matrix, then you had to create the Matrix. That's a whole nother story, but I'm just saying. Either way, yeah, that's cool. Good list. Good list. So
now, what I heard is that CinemaCon was last week. Supposedly, Warner Brothers dropped the trailer to Matrix 4 during CinemaCon.
I heard about that too. I heard about that as well. We'll probably see it soon.
I'm very curious to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to probably look amazing. I mean, it can only look better. It's a matter of what the story is going to be. Exactly. It can only look better. There's no way that they can do a Matrix movie now. What is it? How many years later?
Oh, crap. It's like almost 20 years later.
Almost 20 years later. There's no way it's not going to be better or look better. I'm just saying. I don't know about the story, but so it's going to probably look amazing. But we got technology that can de-age people and everything else. If they wanted to, they can de-age Neo, even though Keanu Reeves still kind of looks the same. He looks pretty much the same.
I wonder if he cut his hair. I'm curious if he cut his hair because his hair stays the same for John Wick. He doesn't change. Like, did he cut his hair or did he wear a wig?
Who knows?
To give back to Neo.
He could always. It doesn't matter. He probably would cut his hair because you can always. It's easy to put the wig back for John Wick. You know what I'm saying? You could always do that as a wig or hair pieces or whatever. Or maybe he will cut his hair in John Wick because he is kind of wanted by everybody in the damn city. Maybe cutting his hair might be a good, smart decision for him to lay low for a while. But before we go, I do want to just shout out, obviously, everybody in the chat room. But I did see earlier in the game where Joseph Tanner did drop he dropped a small list. He put some people up there. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Where did he have? I think he got someone here.
Well, he got like mass murders. Like I see Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You know, you see Mrs. Voorhees. I don't know why you see Mrs. Voorhees. I mean, okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You
Yeah.
know,
But he
and I think,
got Margaret White. They're all gonna laugh at you. It's us Carrie's mother.
yeah,
Yeah. He got Carrie's mother in there. She was a villain. She's pretty much the villain of the movie, in my opinion. She put the battery in Carrie's pack. But no, the
yeah,
villain
she
of the
did.
movie was actually John Travolta's girl. The girl, she was pretty much
Oh,
because she
Amy
set it off.
Irvin. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she set it off. She threw Carrie over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, she threw it over. I mean, it was all a little bit of everything, but yeah, it was a little bit of everything. But yeah, thanks for contributing that, Joseph. I mean, it was a good list. It's plenty of lists. It's so many villains that you were able to come up with just as good of a list as mine with different people. You know what I mean? Except for Vader. Vader's number one for you. Like I said, I had to drop him down because I'm sorry. I can't, if Palpatine doesn't do it, and like I said, he's responsible for Dooku, he's responsible for Darth Maul, Darth Vader, and even more than that, if you dig into the Palpatine, storyline and his backstory, he's even responsible for even more than that. He had and he set Vader on that path. Matter of fact, he was the one that sent Vader to the Jedi Temple to kill the younglings.
Mm-hmm.
Vader did it, but he was pulling the strings. So I definitely thanks everybody for contributing your lists or people that was on your list. And I definitely agree with my brother a lot. Catherine Trammell could be on your list. You could take anyone out of any one of our lists and put Catherine there because she's also a villain, so to speak, that won. She won. She didn't get arrested. She didn't get killed.
Get killed.
She pretty much got what she wanted. So she came
got
out
the guy in the end until basically
right, exactly.
She still owe me money for that because
right. Which should have never happened, Sharon.
Never should have happened. At least if it did, that wasn't it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you could pluck her out and put her back. So I think there's a lot of people, Catherine, but our list was good. Too bad Kev wasn't here. I was interested. Kev might have came with a lot of horror people, but
and don't get me wrong, my list certainly would include the Joker, but I just needed it to be different.
Yeah, you wanted to be different.
Somewhat different than what yours was. But Vader, I'm a Star Wars fan. I cannot have a villains list without Vader up there somewhere because he's the guy. He's the guy that you're fearing most. You're not really fearing Palpatine. Palpatine was. You're fearing Vader.
But that's why, once again, I countered that with that's why he's the bigger villain, because that's the one you should be fearing the most, but you're not, because he was hiding in plain sight. That's another reason why he's one of the better villains. For all of that time, he was hiding right in plain sight, and all that time he was a Sith, and he was a senator. Over there, they had no idea that he was a Sith.
And frankly, he's the one. He's actually the one that started the entire thing. If you really look at it, he started everything.
He kind of started the entire war.
The entire war.
The Star War was started by him, and then he created the Galactic Empire and smashed the Republic. The Republic is being turned into a Galactic Empire. Palpatine, man. He like you said, he's pretty much the cause of all that stuff. Before Darth Vader, Anakin, he was still a kid at the time, but yeah, he saw it all unfold, and then and made everybody believe that they could trust him.
Yeah,
the Jedi
were evil,
and you could tell how powerful he was all that time. Think about this, and then we're gonna end the show. All that time, they thought that they couldn't sense that Palpatine was a Sith Lord. All the Jedi's, Yoda,
Mace
Windu, all these people that are strong in the Force, Obi-Wan, none of them could sense Palpatine was a Sith Lord. He was able to hide the Force away from them, and he's very strong in the Force.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I grant that. I do grant that.
So that's that.
Still, yeah.
But thanks. We want to thank everybody that joined the show and watched us and listened to us. We really appreciate you hanging out with us for this time. Definitely don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Share this show, share the channel. The IE network is on this. We're still doing our thing. We're still on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're closer. So we're gonna go back to, after we come back, we're gonna take next week off, and we're gonna come back and start doing some more giveaways. We're setting up the show with Diane Franklin. I believe they both got to get back to me, but more than likely that's gonna be the show either right after we come back or the week after that. But it's gonna be in September. But we'll have Diane Franklin and Lawrence Monison, on, aka Gary and Karen with a K from The Last American Virgin, and they'll be on, and should be fun. We'll go over something. Maybe we'll do that'll be a perfect time to do a getaway. We'll do like a Last American Virgin box set or something like that. Actually, I saw this box set on Amazon, which is really cool. It's like Last American Virgin with Better Off Dead and something else. Like it's like 3 movies box set. From that era. I want to say like Just One of the Guys or something like that. It's one of them films from that era.
I like that movie.
Yeah, it was like Just One of the Guys, Last American Virgin and Better Off Dead. Maybe I'll cop that box set and we can give that away as our giveaway.
That's a nice. Those are 3 good movies.
Yeah, 3 great movies. In my opinion. Really.
Better Off Dead, man. That is a slept on movie, man. But it is it's a hoop. It's a hoop.
Yeah.
That's all I can. It's a hoop.
It's a hoop. That's a great way to describe it.
The one guy that sounds like Howard Cosell. He's always wanting to race or something.
Yeah.
I like that movie, man. Once very slept on movie.
We'll definitely
Just One of the Guys. That's another one.
Yeah, Just One of the Guys. Another was slept on. That flew under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that flew under the radar. So that was back in the era where those type of movies started to become popular, where people were like,
with young Sherilyn Fenn.
Sherilyn Fenn. Yeah. She like young Sherilyn Fenn. So definitely before Twin Peaks. So definitely, once again, thanks again, everybody. Shout out to Joseph Tanner for holding down the chat room. Appreciate you. Everyone who came through, Nikita, No Nonsense, Wonder Kid Primetime, Jay from Heroes to Icons spoke in there, Heaven Hollywood, of course, and anyone else that I may have missed. And if you're watching this show, definitely check it out. Man, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you very much. Y'all stay safe. Don't be that guy. Happy Labor Day. Go check if you're going out, go check Shang-Chi. It's coming out.
If you're using fireworks, please throw them away before you light them. Don't stand close to them. Don't blow yourself up. We want you back.
And let's be honest. Don't be that guy or that gal.
Right.
Wear your mask. Social distance.
Don't get drunk in the street.
Change. Yeah. Stay safe out there, people. Peace out.
Night.